friends, welcome to my channel. Here we are going to learn a new chapter, that is materials, metals and non-metals. What are metals? The elements which contain 2 or 3 valence electrons are called metals. Examples: iron, copper, steel, lead, zinc, tin, nickel and etc. Non-metals. The elements which contain 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 as the valence electrons are called non-metals. Example: sulfur, bromine, carbon, oxygen and etc. Now let us see few physical properties of metals. Metals are generally solids, exception for mercury and gallium as they exist in liquid state. Metals are heavy, exception for sodium, potassium and magnesium because these three are not heavy. Metals are hard and non-brittle, exception for sodium, potassium and lead because they are non-brittle. Metals are good conductors of heat and electricity, exception for lead because lead is not a good conductor of heat and electricity. Metals possess a property by which they can be drawn into thin sheets, that is nothing but malleability. For example, we can take gold. The property of metals by which they can be drawn into wires is called ductility. For example, for ductility we can take silver. Metals, a melting point and boiling point are generally high. Metals produce ringing sound so they can be called sonorous. So metals possess a property that is nothing but sonorous. These metals are lustrous and can be polished. Now let us see few physical properties of non-metals. Non-metals are found in all three states. That means they exist in solids, liquids and gases. These non-metals are generally light in weight. Solid non-metals are hard but they are brittle. These non-metals are bad conductors of heat and electricity, exception for graphite because graphite is a good conductor of heat and electricity. Non-metals melting point and boiling points are low. These non-metals do not produce any ringing sound, that means they are not sonorous. These non-metals are generally non-lustrous and cannot be polished. Now let us see few chemical reaction of metals. First let us see chemical reaction with oxygen. On burning, metals react with oxygen to produce metal oxides which are basic in nature. For example, we can take rusting of iron where rust is formed. In this situation, iron and oxygen together form the rust. Another example we can take for these metals is magnesium plus oxygen. Where on burning of magnesium ribbon in air, we can learn that magnesium oxide is formed. And when it comes to non-metals react with oxygen to produce non-metallic oxides which are not lustrous in nature. Example, we can take sulfur. Sulfur plus oxygen, it will be forming sulfur dioxide gas which is non-lustrous in nature. Here we can see rusting of iron. Next, reaction with water. Some metals react with water to produce metal hydroxides and hydrogen gas. And generally, non-metals do not react with water. For example, we can see that sodium reacts with water very vigorously. Here in this beaker there is water and then there is sodium. See, we can see that how vigorously it is reacting. Whereas when you take iron, which is also a metal, it reacts very slowly. Next, we can see reaction with acids. Metals react with acids and produce metals and hydrogen gas. Generally, non-metals do not react with these acids. You can see here that metals react with acid. For example, copper, sodium, lead, magnesium and iron. In this situation, we can see that metals react with vigorously with acid, and we can also see that if it will produce hydrogen gas. We can check how it will be. How we can check is that when that hydrogen gas burns, we can hear a pop sound. Next, reaction with bases. Some metals react with bases to produce hydrogen gas. Let us see. So reaction with sodium hydroxide, which is a base. Here we can see that aluminium and zinc are vigorously reacting with the sodium hydroxide, which is a base. But reaction with nonmetals with bases are very complex. Next, displacement reaction. So this reaction actually tells that more reactive metals displaces less reactive metals from their compounds in aqueous solution. So here more reactive metals are nothing but the metals which are reacting mostly, like you can see sodium which is reacting mostly in water, we can see potassium which also reacts in water and acid very vigorously, and less reactive metals like platinum or gold, silver, we can see this less reactive metals. So from these they form aqueous solutions. So for example, let me take an example of copper, sulfate and zinc. So let us take copper and sulfate, which is CuSO4, when adding with zinc. When we get the product as zinc sulfate plus copper. So here we can see an expression, that is displacement reaction. In terms of ABC, so when we take two metals, that is A plus B, A and B plus C, then the product will be formed that A will be alone, and then B plus B C together it will be. Next, it is the most important task to remember the most reactive to least reactive. So the first most reactive metal is potassium, then following with sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, tin, lead, copper, silver, gold, platinum. So these are the metals. The black color ones are all metals, and these are the series of most reactive to less reactive. Next, uses of metals and non-metals. So we use metals and non-metals in our daily life. So non-metals are essential for our breathing. Oxygen is very essential for our breathing, which is a non-metal. And then we use metals used in machinery, automobiles, airplanes and trains and etc. And non-metals are also used in growth of plants, fertilizers, water purification process, etc. So here we can see uses of metals: cutlery, aircrafts, cooking utensils, galvanization, machinery, and etc. And also we can see uses of non-metals here: oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, and etc. Thank you. If you like my video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.